What's up, my friends? The question is, how much time does it take to run a community? Can you run a community beside your main shop? Is that even possible? And I have some good news for you. When you build your community in the right way, it takes not much time to run this community. I would say 30 minutes a day is enough to run your own community. And I will explain you how or why. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are a photographer, okay? So as a photographer, you spend a couple of hours on a week for marketing to get a new client. And let's say you get your client. Then you have to spend even more hours, sometimes day, to do the job. So marketing, some hours, days, job, some hours, days. In the community game, you can do the marketing you can spend a lot of time for marketing, but to do the job, there is not much to do. What can you do? I mean, you can make a post every day or every second day, what takes you only a couple of minutes to ask a question for the community to have engagement. Maybe you can moderate, right? If there is a rule breaker, you can delete a post or something like this. And you can comment in your community. But in the early days, there is not big engagement in your community. So there is not much to comment. So I can remember when I created my first community, I was sitting like this, give me something to do. Oh, there's a new post, I can do something. But at the early days, there was not much to do. Another thing is what you can do, you can write DMs with the members. You can ask, how do you like it? What can you do? What can we do better? Do you like to make a post about this and that? But this takes you only 30 minutes a day, at least. Of course, it's better to have more time. I will come to this in a second, but 30 minutes a day. The only challenge is I would split that in 2 to 3 times a day. That means 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, 15 minutes. So it makes no sense to run a community maybe a day and then take 3 days off. This is not the way how I would recommend to build a community. So it's better when you get up in the morning or when you make a break at around 1 p.m. to eat something, check in 10 minutes, and then at the evening. So 30 minutes a day is the minimum time to run the community. But when we are talking about the marketing, of course you can spend more time. I would say you need at least 30 to 45 minutes a day. And at the end, that's 1 hour a day. What you have to spend at least, not just to run a community, also to build a community. And in these 30 to 45 minutes a day, you can comment in other communities to get attention. You can once in a week, you can produce content for social media. You can learn, you can observe. And trust me, this is enough. Of course, it's better to invest 2 to 3 hours a day in a community beside your main shop. Of course, it's better to invest 6 hours a day in your community, but you cannot invest it in the community. You can invest it in marketing, etc. But in the community, when you build it in the right way, there's not much to do. So for myself, I'm running 7+ communities. But if I would only run one community, guarantee there is not much more than 30 minutes a day or 45 minutes sometimes. And once a week, maybe a live call or so. What I would spend more time is with marketing. Maybe I would spend here, when I just have one community, I would spend maybe 1 hour or so a day in marketing. This is what I do today. So I don't know why there is so much to do. When you build a community in a different way, with this DM outreach, pushing people in, making sales calls, close calls, paid community, then it's maybe more work. But when you make a decision to grow slow from the start, it's not much work. It gets more work when you are running big communities. So today I'm running 7 communities, and I would say I would spend 3 to 4 hours a day in the community game to keep on going. But that's with 7 communities, right? And I have a team. Yeah. So to be honest, when you start beside a main shop, at least you need 30 minutes a day split on 2 or 3 parts a day. I would recommend to invest a little bit more, let's say 60 minutes a day, but 30 minutes a day is the minimum time to enjoy it, to build a community. All right? This is it for today. Subscribe this channel and then see you in the next video.